how realistic is Masterpiece Megatron? Let's take a closer look and find out. Alright, so just in case there are any ATF agents watching, these are little plastic parts. They cannot actually connect to an actual firearm. So here we have Megatron in his Walther P-38 form without the extras that would require a custom job. And to compare him, we have an actual P-38 from World War II. This one was chromed after capture. And as you can see, they actually did a ridiculously good job for a plastic robot transformer on Megatron here. Just starting up the front end. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit for you. They have both front sides dovetailed in. Might be a little hard to see on this guy with the glare. Well, I'm pretty sure you can see that. But yeah, he's dovetailed in the same way. Moving up. Takedown lever in the right spot. Trigger is the right profile. It looks almost identical. The trigger guard. The placement of the screw holding the grips on. The actual lines on the grip. Now Megatron here does have this little cap on here, so he would actually be able to have, you know, the stock, but there's no way to attach that to a regular one. ATF, leave me alone. But then we also have the safety selector, correct? The hammer. It's pretty darn spot on as well. Megatron's doesn't stick out as much, but it's got the right type of texturing and the right shape to it. The sights are actually pretty good. Got that there, the right overall shape. Ones on Meggy aren't quite as deep, but still did a pretty good job. They also have the flat spot on top that is on the toy used for attaching the scope, but of course on the real life one it would not make any sense to put a scope on a 9mm handgun. Flipping her over here. We don't seem to have this part of the pin unless you count that. That's a very minor pick. So the slide serrations are pretty good. On Megatron they're a bit longer than the real life one, but they are the right overall shape. And they are shorter than a Walther P1. Kind of right in the middle there. And then here, you can see they actually went through all the trouble to craft the extractor in there. Now that's something I actually didn't even notice right away. They didn't make it a different color so it doesn't stand out so well, but it's absolutely that. And that is truly top-notch model work. Then looking at the bottom here, we can see he does not have the magazine release or a actual magazine there. We have his feet. But we do have the correct overall shape here for the profile of the gun. And with them side by side like this, you can also definitely tell Megatron is a bit thicker, barrel's thicker. Overall, he is a bit longer. Let me zoom out here for you so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you see, Megatron is a bit bigger, which you would expect from like an 80-ton robot from another planet. He is a little wonky where his barrel isn't quite straight in all directions, but honestly, this thing took me like 4 hours to transform from the robot to this form. And after this video, I'm going to turn him back to the robot and then possibly never do this again. Because he's got a lot of really tight tolerances, and I really thought I was going to break him a couple of times. And I don't want to do that. But yeah, this is the real-life Walther P-38. This one was made in the Spreework factory, September of '44. From the internal conditions on it, I don't think it was ever really used. It was probably handed to someone who then promptly surrendered to the Allies. And then somebody crumbed it up as a war trophy and brought it back home. And then it wound up in my hands at a gun show. Megatron I got on eBay. And then my P1 I just got actually from Atlantic Firearms. So we'll probably be discussing him later. But just for additional comparison, you'll notice different grip texturing on him. The slide grips we already, or slide serrations, I gotta stop doing that. We already covered. Look at the barrels here. You can see Megatron, he had a bigger barrel. It looks like he'd probably be closer to a 45, which I know there were some variations for Walther for that, but I don't think it really went anywhere. I'd have to double check. Oh, one other thing. The slide stop. They got pretty darn well, so overall I'm going to have to give them 10 out of 10 for doing this. Grip-wise, you can see, I can just get the tip of my finger on there to pull the trigger. With the real one, I can get all the way up to the first knuckle very easily. So, real one, quite a bit smaller. Megatron looks pretty good. But yeah, I thought that was a fun little video to make, so I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next one.